Hello, my name is Josh and I'm with Golden Movers. Today I'm going to show you how to pack a proper dish pack. Now dish packs are used for packing dishes, but also for other fragile items such as maybe tall lamps, large vases, large decor, possibly electronics or computers as well. Now what makes dish packs different from other boxes, they're a taller box, you see they're quite large, but they have 3-ply walls on them. Now the difference between that and a regular box is a regular box will have a 1-ply wall. The 3-ply wall allows you to put more weight in it. Dishes get quite heavy after you pack a full one, so it'll support the strength and the weight of the additional box. But it will also add strength to the side walls, so if you don't fill the box up all the way, put a lot of weight on top of it, that box is not going to crush nearly as easy as a traditional box would. So what you want to do when you start packing a dish pack is you want to just shove a lot of paper on the bottom. You just grab paper it up, and just shove it in the bottom. And you're going to do that 5, 6, 7 sheets. Flatten it all out on the bottom. That's going to give you a nice good cushion, a nice good layer of cushion on the bottom to absorb some of the weight, some of the shock if it's the box down heavy. So if you look at my box here, I had already thrown a bunch of padding in there. If you look at the bottom, there's a nice layer, about a 2-inch cushion at the bottom. Now when you're packing dishes, you don't want the glass to touch each other, so you're going to layer them. And here's a trick so that you don't have to pack them, so you can pack a little bit faster. Instead of wrapping one dish at a time, it can get very monotonous and can really draw out your time. Take 3 or 4 dishes at a time. This is traditional Chinaware. I got 4 plates here. I'm going to put one plate right in the middle, and I'm going to fold the paper over the top of it. Layer it. I'm going to set another plate right on top. Take another sheet, fold it over the top. A third plate, fold it over the top, and a 4th plate. You don't typically want to do more than about 4 plates. Sometimes I'll do 3, sometimes I'll do 4. On occasion, the most I'll do in one bundle is 5 plates together. If they get too heavy, it'll be hard to handle. The plates could fall out through the sides, the paper could rip. So I got 4 plates here. I layer them again. 1 sheet of paper in between each plate. This keeps the glass from scratching and rubbing on each other. After I do that, I'm going to grab 2 more sheets of paper, fold it over the top. I'm just going to wrap this whole thing up nice and tight. 4 plates, 4 dishes in here, and then I'm going to stick them in the box. Now you don't want to just lay your plates down flat in the box. You want to stand them up vertically. A plate has a lot less strength when it's flat than if it's standing vertically. You take a piece of glass, if you lay it down flat, and you just tap on it, it's going to break a lot easier if it's laying flat than if it was standing up vertically like a picture frame or something, or a mirror. So again, I got my plate, 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layers. 2 more sheets, plenty of cushion, and again, you want to wrap it up tight so that you have room in your box for other stuff. Extra paper doesn't get in your way. And I'm standing it up vertically again. I'll show you here in just a second. Now to save time, I went ahead and wrapped a lot of these plates in advance, so you wouldn't have to watch me wrap all of them. And I'm standing the plates up vertically in the box. Typically want to start with your tallest dishes, with your plates or your platters, and put them on the bottom. You put your smaller stuff, your lighter items up on top. Here's some smaller plates. I have 6 of them, so I'm going to wrap them in groupings of 3. I'm sorry, 4. There's 8 total. 4 more. So I've got 1 row of plates in there. Let me go ahead and show you what it looks like. See how the plates are all lined vertically in there. No space in between them, just a little bit. Very tight. If I don't fill it completely, I'll use paper and I'll stuff it inside there. Now I'm going to finish this side of the box with more plates, and then we'll put a layer and we'll start another level. Again, I wrapped a lot of these in advance to save on time. There's some square plates. And just one layer of paper in between the plates is plenty. You don't need to add a lot. Okay, now I got my lower level filled, my first tier. We pack dish boxes in tiers, 2 or 3 layers from bottom to top. So I got my lower level full. What I want to do, if there's any extra space in there, I want to fill it with paper to give it extra cushion. We want to pack it. It doesn't have to be super tight, but there needs to be enough paper in there to keep from rattling or any kind of movement. I always put a little bit of extra padding in the cushions, in the corners, because the corners typically tend to sag a little bit, so I'll stick a little bit extra paper in the corner, especially when you're doing dishes because they have those rounded edges. Again, don't be afraid to use too much paper. Paper is very cheap. You can use newspaper as well. Some people, if they're packing their own dishes, might use some blankets or hand towels or such like that. So I got my layer down there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take about 3 sheets, fold them in half, and I'm going to lay this right on top to clearly label there's a new layer there. It also gives me a nice flat surface to start on. I'll give you a look at what this looks like. Nice flat surface. Underneath is all my cushioning. Then I lay that on top. Nice flat layer to start my next tier. Now bowls, depending on the strength of the bowl, will determine if you're going to use 2 or 3, but it's the same concept. I'm going to put one in the middle. I'm going to put a layer of paper. Another bowl. We'll grab probably 2 sheets. And wrap them up. Bowls you do not want to lay flat. You don't want to put them upside down. Bowls you want to put on their side also, just like a dish. Can have a lot more strength standing up sideways. Here's some square bowls. Same thing. And again, I wrapped a lot of these ahead of time to save on space, save on time. I'm layering them just like the dishes, side to side, vertically, keeping them tight with no space in between. These bowls are a little bit stronger, they're not quite as fragile. I'll be putting 3 together. These bowls, more fragile, they're nicer, finer china, a little bit thinner, so I'm only going to put 2 together. And they don't quite fit inside each other quite as well, so I'll be a little bit more careful with these. Sometimes you have small plates, little saucers. What you can do with these, you can do 4 or 5 if they're a little bit smaller because they don't take up as much paper. I'll put one in the middle though. I'll fold it over, put one on top, fold that paper back over again. It just saves on a little bit of paper, it saves on some time. Little serving dishes, some sauce plates. Again, I can wrap this over the top, just as my little cushion. You don't need to use quite as much paper on your smaller items because they're going to wrap over themselves a lot more times as you fold it. I got my next layer filled. I'm going to go ahead and fill my last couple spaces. And now I'm going to make my cushion again. It doesn't have to be quite as big of a cushion. You're not putting as much weight on top. Got my cushion down, take a couple pieces of paper, fold them in half. This isn't required, this is just a nice divider. If you're unpacking it, you know, also keep all the crinkled paper from raising up and getting in your way. Now I've just got about 6 inches on the top. Usually on the top is where you put your glasses. You put mugs, glasses, possibly stemware, silverware, drawer items. In this case, I'm going to do some coffee cups. Again, to save time, instead of wrapping each cup individually, it's going to take a lot of time, I'm going to wrap 2 at a time. What I like to do with my glasses or mugs is I'm going to put them face down, I'll put them upside down in the paper. Again, wrap over the top. Now I'm putting the handle to the inside. Putting paper over the top, upside down with the other one. Putting the handle to the inside, so both handles are kind of spooning into each other. Taking one more sheet, wrapping them together. You got a lot of cups, it's going to save you a lot of time by doing 2 at a time like this. You can also do that with traditional glasses if they're the same size. Again, I wrapped a bunch already to save on time. Okay, now I ran out of china. What do? I still have room in my box. It's okay to mix stuff with other items. What I typically do is I'll try to get some other glasses. I might get some other bowls. You can use Tupperware, you can use whatever, but you want to fill the box. A lot of times in my top of my box, if I have a couple inches available, I'll get my drawer items, my cooking utensils, my kitchen utensils. I'll wrap them up, I'll lay them flat on top. A silverware tray works perfect, nice and flat on top. But what you want to do is you want to fill all the space. If you leave space on top that's not full, that bucket's going to crush in. Again, your dish packs are heavier boxes that are going to be typically on the bottom of a load. They're going to hold a lot of weight, so you need to pack them properly. But for this case, I'm just going to show you. Again, that's what the top of a dish pack looks like. There's my mugs lined up. I might do some other glasses in here, put some silverware, kitchen stuff on top, paper, and then I'm going to close it up. That is the proper way to do a dish pack. If you follow these instructions, you shouldn't have any problems. The way I was trained is if you pack a box like this, you can drop it off of a 4-foot tall platform. If it lands flat, nothing's going to break. Join with me next time, look at some other videos on how to properly pad some other furniture. And if you like what we do, please consider Golden Movers for your relocation needs. Thank you.